And we are live
ladies
with
and gentlemen,
episode of BS Busters. And this is a big one. But before we get into the main topics, let's let the lady introduce herself first. Go ahead.
salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is Juvar Eli Moonstar, the gaming maid. Ugly, ladies and gents. Be ready to have your cleaning material.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you might have to drop out and drop back in, Joel. Pinky Don. Yeah, I know. It's
And this is Pinky Don from Video Game Facts. Right now, we just reached 50,000 subscribers, so it's time to celebrate.
So you moving on up like George and Wheezy, moving on up, dude. Beans don't burn on the grill. Took a lot of walking, climbing to get up that hill. But that's neither here nor there.
I mean, the group first opened in 2016 or 2015, and now three or 2 years later, we finally reached up about 50,000 followers. It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
It's all because of the refugees that left the website that shall
Player Essence. No, we can say it. It's gone now. Player Essence is dead. So yeah, think about that mass exodus of people who got tired of dealing with the bullshit on Player Essence. And they said, well, shit, we'll make our own damn website. And they did. And it's a beautiful thing. Video Game Facts is a great place to get information for video games, pop culture conversations. It's great. And, I give it 2 thumbs up. If I had 3 hands, I'd give it 3 thumbs up, but I don't. I only have 2. If I was a gorilla or an ape, I could give it a 4 thumbs up because their feet are like hands too. But I can't, so. But yeah, I give it glowing endorsements, and it hasn't turned into a cesspool like Player Essence did towards its last little bit. I didn't go back there, but I heard it was a cesspool. I didn't go. I cut off Player Essence, but that's neither here nor there. So the topics that we have today, I may have said this, but we're going to be talking about some news that was missed at Gamers at Large this Friday. I think that might be the new set time for Gamers at Large this Friday, which is a great time. We're also going to talk about the big topic, which is EA maybe losing their Star Wars license, which would be fucking sweet.
Yep.
That's going to be the main topic. But let's get to those other Gamers at Large topics first that were missed. Go, Pinky Don.
All right. I'm going to find some news articles that we may have missed out. I'm going to be checking Nintendo Everything.
Nintendo.
Please don't go Kotaku or IGN, please.
No, I think Pinky Don. I think Pinky Don and the other moderators would burn that shit to the ground before it turned like Player Essence. Be like, well, folks, it was a fun ride, but we're starting to turn into Player Essence, so peace. That's what I think would.
Ooh,
that's what I think.
They just revealed a new Mithra figure as well as an Inkling Girl Figma.
Yeah, I never got Figmas. I know it's gonna sound weird, but I never got Figmas.
Really?
Never ever got Figmas. No, because they're just. I mean, it's like Figmas are like.
But they're action figures for adults.
Yeah, but they're really, really, really fucking expensive. That's the thing that gets me. It's like they're cool.
That's how I know those things. They're pricey as beep.
Yeah, they're cool. And here's the thing. I really shouldn't be saying anything because I'm the guy who used to import Gundams and Vonzers from Front Mission and Robotech jets and Veritech fighters. I used to import those, but back in the day they were like like $20-$30 the figures I was getting. And at the time, that was kind of expensive. But Figmas, even the lower end ones, are like $80, $90, $100. I'm like, Jesus, fuck that. I can't. No, man. Did anyone see the Figma for Red, for the Pokemon for Red for Pokemon?
Right.
I hope I don't get a heart attack.
There's some Pokemon figures I want to get, but none of them are available on Amazon nor in the local comic book shops I visit.
No, they had a Figma for Red Red from the original Pokemon, and I was like, man, that looks really cool. I want that. And like it had the variable parts and stuff like that, so you could change his poses and stuff. And it had the 3 Pokemon, the Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle. And I was like, man, that's really cool. And then I looked at the price; it was like $140. I was like, fuck that. I was like, nope. I really wanted to get it. I had the money for it, but I was like, I can't justify this purchase.
And now there's one with the female Pokemon trainer from Sun and Moon with Alolan starters.
Yeah,
that one I wanted to get.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't turning into a Pokemon cast, but I'm just saying Sun and Moon didn't really do anything for me. Like, I think, like, in my opinion, Pokemon the Pokemon Company really took a step forward with X and Y. They made it really easy for you to breed, raise, train, super train your Pokemon. They made it really accessible, easy to get into, and yet you could still use some of your old tricks from back in the day for old school trainers like me. It was great. And then they made Sun and Moon and fucked it all up. So I was like, nah, I can't.
Thank you, Red.
It's like, thanks a lot, jackass. It was going well. It's like they found the perfect recipe for pizza, and then like, let me experiment some more. It's like, man, why'd you do that? It was perfect last time.
Blame it on the fans who complain about X and Y being too easy, as well as Oras.
Yeah, but the thing is that Pokemon. The main story of Pokemon is supposed to be easy. The challenge comes in PvP battles with the online, because then you're not fighting the computer, you're fighting,
intelligence.
Yeah. And Pokemon is one of the few games that in today's modern age, I wouldn't be against a Pokemon game having DLC. Like, I wouldn't.
Well, technically, it's already been using DLC through Event Pokemon.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, okay, if Pokemon said, okay, the game is $39, the base game, and we're going to release a $10 season pass where we're going to like give you the option or you can buy them piece by piece for like, I don't know, like $3.99 a piece. And there's like 3 pieces. Like the first piece maybe adds like a challenge mode where kind of like the frontier, the battle frontier, where except right. You have like rules, like you can only use 3 Pokemon, or you have to defeat this this fire-based island with grass-type Pokemon, like challenges, and they all are like level 20 or something like that. Like, so for people who want that difficulty, here's your difficulty, $3.99 difficulty, boom. And then for people who want more story DLC, it's like, well, here's the thing where the villains have more story, you can fight them again, shit like that. But I mean, just X and Y just hit the sweet spot, and then they fucked it up with Orange, with Sun and Moon.
So true.
Nope, I disagree. Apparently, the fans actually
praise it then
for the changes made because it makes it fresh.
I'm sorry, but you're so full of it because Pokemon and me.
No, you're full of it.
Fresh.
Okay, this is not the Pokemon cast. We all stated our opinion.
Let's move on.
No, let's move on.
For Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, they're gonna be adding Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku as a playable character.
Yeah. Meh.
I mean, the Ultra Instinct form is well received by Dragon Ball Z fans.
Man, I don't know. I haven't given a shit about Dragon Ball Z since Dragon Ball Z ended. You know what I mean? It's like like Dragon Ball Super and Ultra Instinct Goku wasn't in Dragon Ball Z, so I don't care. That's basically how I'm like, really, to tell you the truth, there are too many. Like, really, it should have ended at Super Saiyan 2. That should have been the only form that you had. Because now the shit is ridiculous.
And Kimishima on current stock situation with the Switch. The Japanese outlet Diamond put up a couple of new interviews this week with Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima. In one of the interviews, Kimishima talked about topics such as mobile. The other discussions touched on a few other things, including Switch's stock situation. Diamond first pointed out how Switch sold so much that sold out signs could be found at many stores in Japan. The publication also mentioned how one parent after another couldn't buy the system during Christmas. In response, Kimishima said that in April 2017, Nintendo's initial yearly sales projection was 10 million units. However, at the time, that was already an unexpected number. Switch was released after Wii U, so when looking at this number, people would ask if Switch would really sell that much within a year. Kimishima said with a laugh that Nintendo should have produced more units, but at that time, 10 million would be an unbelievable number if they could sell that much. From the release of Zelda to Mario Kart, the momentum was so strong that stores ran out of stock. This meant Nintendo had to increase projections to 14 million units a few months ago. However, this is a 40% increase. Kimishima acknowledged that customers in Japan and Europe in particular have had trouble purchasing the Switch. Somehow, Nintendo was able to increase the production structure to deliver more units by the holiday season, and it still wasn't enough even at the end of the year. When asked if Nintendo was ultimately able to increase the production structure, Kimishima did say that they raised the capacity. The company Nintendo has entrusted with making units has also increased its production lines. Also, since certain materials are needed, they went around and asked all kinds of part makers to somehow raise production on their end. If even a single part were to be missing, the game console wouldn't run. Finally, when asked if Nintendo has already solved Switch's stock issues, Kimishima said that for the time being, as we enter the new year, this still hasn't been completely solved. Though in Japan, the situation is more along the lines where customers don't have to wait multiple days. And if they can't buy it in one store, they can find the system at another. In other words, Switch still has its stock issues, but the situation has improved. So pretty much the same old when it comes to stock issues, such as the Amiibos or the SNES Mini, for that matter.
Yeah, I can understand. Excuse me. Someone's got an echo. Okay, it was fixed. So basically, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. No one knew that the Switch was going to take off the way it did. I think it was a combination of people, the novelty of it, the fact that it's a good system and the great games lineup. I mean, here's the thing: Breath of the Wild. Everyone waited for that game. Breath of the Wild, I think, has sold maybe 4 million on the Wii U and like 5 million plus on the Switch. So it's around 9 million, 9.2. But I mean, that's a dual release. It was on the last gen system and the current gen system. But Mario Odyssey, oh boy, that game is at 9.2 million sold, and that was just in like literally like a month, 2 months. It's sold that much. So that tells you that like almost 70% of the Switch install base has Mario Odyssey, which I can't blame them. It's a really fucking good game. So, I mean, I think that the good games lineup has really pushed the system. If Nintendo can continue to provide quality games, like once, every 1 or 2 months this year, a good quality game, then Nintendo will be fine. That's it. That's all I had to say.
And lastly, the devs confirmed that in Breath of the Wild, originally they were considering giving players the ability to control the weather, but they decided against it because it was more interesting to have Link against nature, not controlling it. That ended up being more natural and fun.
That's debatable, but okay.
That depends on what the weather.
Like weather conditions, like rain,
Well,
thunder.
I mean, it depends on what you think is fun. Like there are parts of Breath of the Wild that some people are like, man, that was so much fun. And I was like, man, fuck this. This is not fun. Like being in the middle of a fight and having a toilet break.
There had one big complaint about rain.
Yeah. Yeah, falling, like not being able to climb cliffs because it's wet and slippery. Or, oh man, I'm in a thunderstorm. Let me take off my metal armor because I might get struck by lightning. And I know what they were going for. Here's the thing: when I play Breath of the Wild, it's like I can see what the ideas were behind the design decisions behind a lot of the stuff. Some of it just doesn't resonate with me. So that's a personal thing. But overall, Breath of the Wild is a good game. I hope that the next one they fix the flaws that are in the Breath of the Wild formula, because there are flaws. It's not perfect. But that's neither here nor there.
So I guess that's it for all the video game news we missed out this week.
So I guess now we can move on to the main topic, which is a big one.
On EA or Capcom?
Rumor has it that EA may be losing their Star Wars license.
Yeah, and the way I feel about it, I'm like, good. Wouldn't it be poetic justice that EA would lose one of the most lucrative business licenses of all time because of their greed?
True. So now the question is, who is going to get the license?
Well,
according to the rumor, the reason why Disney is getting the license back from EA because of Super Mario Odyssey outselling Battlefront 2. So it could be a hint that they'll probably give the license to Nintendo.
They're not giving it to Nintendo. No. Disney is mad at EA because of the controversy that they started because of their greed. Because like EA had to pay Disney for the business license, but every single unit that EA sells that uses the Star Wars IP, they have to give them a cut of that money. They have to give them a cut. So it's not so much the money, it's that they don't want to be associated with that bullshit. With the microtransactions and the loot boxes and the shady shit EA's been doing. And the sad thing is that all EA had to do in order to maintain and hold this thing was just put out good games. That's all they had to do. Well-budgeted, good games that sold, and they would have been fine, but they got greedy. and that's the problem.
And worse yet, EA has another Star Wars game in the works that's been in development for a few years now, and now that game's going to be canceled because they no longer have the license.
Well, you mean that game from Visceral that was supposed to be a single player game, and then they shuttered Visceral and they're making it into some microtransaction bullshit?
Yep, that game.
I mean, this is EA, and I mean, from what I've heard, the ear to the ground rumors about this is that Disney is pissed off because of the first reason I mentioned, which is the controversy with EA having a license and the loot boxes. But they're also pissed because, like, I know you're probably not old enough to remember this, but Jewel will remember. When we were kids, there were Star Wars games on everything. There were PC games. Yeah.
All the way up to the Supers and Gen.
There were PC games, there were arcade games, there were handheld games, there were Tiger Electronic games, there were No, literally,
Sorry.
there were Tiger Electronic Star Wars games, like the little shitty Tiger Electronic games. There were Star Wars PC games. I mean, Star Wars was ubiquitous.
Yeah,
You could
I
find.
get. It's just that it's been
Well,
a
I
while
grew-
since I heard anything.
Well, I grew up with the Super Nintendo Star Wars games, the Game Boy Star Wars games.
Oh yeah, then you know about it. But have you noticed that now that EA has had the rights to Star Wars, there's been like, and I'm not counting. I'm not counting the little bullshit like microtransactions, Star Wars Galaxy at War, microtransaction smartphone games. I mean, real legitimate Star Wars games. There's been like 3. There was the Old Republic, Battlefront, the reboot, and then Battlefront 3. That's it. And of course, you have WB. They tried to do with the Lego people. They did Lego Star Wars Episode 7, but that one sucked because it's really hard to make a Lego game about one movie.
They should have waited until the other 2 episodes.
Yeah, yeah, that was a mistake on their part. They should have just waited, either that or done a Lego game that was set between
episodes 6 and 7.
6 and 7. That would have made more sense. But no, they got greedy. So, but yeah, I mean, Disney is not getting the payoff they wanted because EA is basically making games that they can put out and then microtransaction the shit out of, and then basically Disney gets their cut, but Disney gets more of a cut the more games that are put out. So Disney's like, okay, well, you're not going to do what we want to make, because here's the thing. The EA license isn't so much about the money. The money's nice, but Disney makes a lot of money anyway. They want to get the product out there to make it ubiquitous so that people are aware of the brand. And when EA did that shit that hurt the brand with that game,
recognition would be hurt because of that stuff.
But no, they're not going to give it to Nintendo because Nintendo only makes games for Nintendo. And Nintendo's not gonna. They're not gonna like. They're not like what you might see Lucasfilms do is restart a LucasArts type thing, except it'll just be the gatekeeper for the game side of it, and they might go to Factor 5 and say, "Hey, you guys want to make a Rogue Squadron game?" Which I'd be cool with. They'll probably go to Activision or Ubisoft, which really are 2 shitty alternatives to EA. Ubisoft is the least shitty, but they're still both pretty shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also wish that Koei Tecmo could also work on a Star Wars game so they could work on a Star Wars Warriors game. And it'll probably do something similar to Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. Original characters fighting through all the 3 eras of Star Wars, the 3 movie eras. That
would be really, really hard to watch. That'd be a really hard game to play because people would mostly be playing as Yoda, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and that's it. Maybe Mace Windu. Maybe Han Solo and Chewbacca the Wookiee.
They'll just have to focus on the key important battles from those film eras, like Naboo, Geonosis,
Hoth. Yeah, Hoth. If they let me play as a little tiny Ewok and have a special player action of eating stormtroopers, because the Ewoks totally ate the stormtroopers at the end of Return of the Jedi. So next time someone says, I don't want those cute little toy selling Ewoks. Look, man, those Ewoks ate those people. They ate them. They cooked them and then they ate them. Goddamn. So the next time you say Return of the Jedi is for kids, remember, little cute teddy bear people perform cannibalism on other sentient beings. That is fucked up. But let's see if we have any questions about this. The viewership has any questions about what this could possibly mean. Mm. 8Ball1970 says, "Good evening, BS Busters." Eric Maverick says, "Evening, everyone. What's up for tonight?" K-On Nintendo says, "No more EA Star Wars games." K-On Nintendo also says, "How about Square Enix for Star Wars?"
I was going to mention Square Enix.
Yeah, I think Square Enix is making a Star Wars game. I think they are commissioned to make a Star Wars game.
Really?
But they were commissioned to do an Avengers game first.
I mean, I'd be cool with it. I mean,
but the question is, will it be an action RPG or a JRPG?
Personally, I would love a JRPG, but Square Enix doesn't make good JRPGs anymore, so it'll probably be an action RPG. As long as it's not like Kingdom Hearts, it'll be okay.
Or Final Fantasy 15.
Like I said, as long as it's not like Kingdom Hearts, it'll be okay. Really, I mean, well, I don't want Nintendo to have the rights to a Star Wars, like the sole licensee rights to a Star Wars game. Wouldn't it be cool if Monolith Soft made a Star Wars RPG?
Oh, yes.
Either that or Level 5. Because, I mean, we know Level 5 can make really good RPG games. If you don't believe me, go play Rogue Galaxy. That game is so good. And it's got a Star Wars vibe to it.
How about lending the Star Wars license to Bandai Namco so they can make a proper Star Wars fighting game?
Star Wars fighting game.
So the Star Wars games can become just as milked as the Dragon Ball and One Piece and Naruto franchises with those shitty ass fighting
Star
games.
Wars is one of the franchises that you honestly see way but up.
I personally don't want to.
Do they need to be milked anymore?
Well, I just don't want to see Star Wars fighting games because, in reality, a Star Wars fighting game sucks. Because think about it: if you're just a normal dude fighting a guy who can choke people without touching them, fighting another dude who's got a lightsaber, fighting another dude who can shoot lightning from his hands.
You're applying You're applying lore logic to which should take away all the suspense of disbelief, like how Gandalf should be indestructible in Smash Brothers because how only the Master Sword or the light arrows could harm him. Yeah, but because Star Wars lore is so steeped into universal logic, it's off-putting. It's like when they put Yoda and Obi-Wan and Darth Vader into Soul Calibur. It's weird. It's like, this is just really weird. Yeah, I mean, because lightsabers have been shown to cut through anything. Well, practically anything. And in Soul Calibur, they kind of nerfed the lightsabers, so they won't cut through any of the characters. So the medieval characters' swords. There are certain materials. This is how much of a Star Wars nerd I am. There are certain materials that lightsabers can't cut through, like Echani-based weapons, Cortosis weave-based weapons, vibroblades. Like basically, the vibroblade is the precursor to the lightsaber. You put an energy thing. It's got a mechanical device in the hilt that causes the blade to vibrate at supersonic frequencies that enables it to cut through all types of stuff easier. And lightsabers and vibroblades kind of can't. It's really hard for a lightsaber to cut through a vibroblade because of the interference with the sonic interference. But aside from that, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, you know, just for me as being the nerd lore guy with Star Wars, it kind of, I'm like, I really don't want to see a Star Wars fighting game. Plus, I still remember Terrace Kai
that shitty ass fighting game.
That's why I said they could make a proper Star Wars fighting game, so it won't be like that game.
But basically, yeah. So for those of you who are listening, I'm responding to you guys in the chat. Ask whatever questions you want to ask. We'll answer them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bandai Namco would be cool. If they made but here's the thing, Bandai Namco is too 50-50 with their games. Like half the time they're good, the other half there's some bullshit. So it's like, I don't know.
What?
Oh yeah.
If I think about it, one of their the Dynasty Warriors games.
That's Koei Tecmo. Mm-hmm.
My goof.
Now, Koei Tecmo makes the Dynasty Warriors games, but it's like, do I really want to play a mindless hack and slasher? Because that's what the Dynasty Warriors games are. With Star Wars, with the Star Wars IP. Like, I really don't want to, you know.
You don't want to mow down lots of and stormtroopers just to get to one super powerful character, right?
I don't know about you. I find the Dynasty Warriors games to be boring. Even the ones that use an IP that I love are just so goddamn boring.
Mr. T is gonna be ticked if he's for you saying that.
What, I find Dynasty Warriors boring?
Yeah. I mean, I know that he's a fan of the Dynasty Warriors games.
Well, I mean, it's his subjective opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Just for me, Dynasty Warriors games, even when they use an IP that I love, and believe me, I have Dynasty Warrior games that I love.
Oh, because the recent Dynasty Warriors game is open world, so that means it's not the same old. So it's not.
They've been open world. They've been open world. Like the Dragon Quest Dragon Warrior was open world. Legend of Zelda
Hyrule
Warriors was open world. The ones that were made with Koei Tecmo's own original IPs were open world. Like, just because it's open world, I mean, it's just the whole idea of mowing down these samey ass enemies so that I can build up a meter to use this ultimate attack. Like, it's so fucking mindless and boring to me, and it's not fun mindless. Like, it's not beat 'em up fun. Like, a beat 'em up to me is mindless, but it's like there's a weight to it. Like, Koei Tecmo games don't have that for me. It's like, Jesus Christ, when is this shit gonna end?
I think we can all agree that Capcom is off limits when it comes to getting the Star Wars license, correct?
Yeah, because all they do is just fuck up all the time. Eric Maverick has a question. What classic game do you wish would be revived? He says Mysterious Mirasami Castle would be his pick.
My pick would be Mach Rider.
That'd be cool. Your choice, Jewel?
That's a hard call, but I would go the either Koei Tecmo or Namco Bandai.
No, we asked a question about which classic game do you wish to be revived?
Oh, games to revive? That would go either rival schools or maybe I'm trying to think of it. Oh yeah, now I see now. It was SOS.
All right. I would like to see this old game series revived, even though it kind of was revived in the early 2000s. ActRaiser. And yeah, that's the game I'd like to see revived. But let's get back to the topic we were going on. I don't know. Like, I really don't. I don't know. Like, in a perfect world, I'll tell you the company who I would give the Star Wars license to. In a perfect world, just because they know how to keep their games under budget, and they can put out a lot of games in a short period of time. THQ Nordic.
But didn't THQ Nordic previously made a negative statement towards Nintendo and the Switch last year?
I don't care. Just because someone doesn't like the console that I prefer doesn't mean I'm going to be like, well, fuck them. I'm just saying, in terms from a business standpoint, they have the largest array of like, they know how to keep their games under budget, and they have a huge amount of like mid-tier, lower-tier studios under them that could handle that license.
And
like, they recently bought Volition.
And speaking of which, they're also porting the Blob onto the Switch.
Yeah, and they also ported Darksiders and Darksiders 2 to the Wii U. So, I mean, like, you know, I think that they really could make some really cool games. And here's the thing: a lot of their games are single-player games, and they can get them out quick, which I like. You know, none of this, oh, well, we've had the license for 5 years and we've only put out 3 fucking games like EA. And all of them are online-centric bullshit with loot boxes and microtransactions. God, I fucking hate EA. My disdain drips from my voice.
And it's quite disappointing that you got extra credits defending loot boxes.
Oh, I did my 2 coins about. Oh God, boo.
Well, I mean, don't give the Star Wars license to WB. Well, I mean, here's the thing: the Star Wars license is kind of broken up. So the Traveler's Tales, the Lego people who did Lego Star Wars and stuff like that, they can make Lego Star Wars games. All they have to do is give Disney the go-ahead, and they can do it. They can make Lego Star Wars games. The Lego Star Wars games have been consistently good, but the publisher for Traveler's Tales games is WB. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I like the Lego Star Wars games, like the original trilogy and then the prequel trilogy. I hate the prequel trilogy, but the original trilogy is fucking great. That is a good Lego game. That's the game that put Traveler's Tales on the map, because they made Lego games before, but they sucked. But Lego Star Wars was really good. That game, I had the original trilogy on the PS2, and then I got the prequel. Then I got the total saga on the Wii, and I mean, I can't tell you how many times I played as Emperor Palpatine and just force lightning the shit out of Jar Jar Binks. I would go into the cantina and find Jar Jar Binks and kill him as Palpatine. It was great. But yeah, or force choke his ass with Darth Vader, because, you know, fuck Jar Jar Binks. The character, not the guy who played him. So let's get to the rest of these questions, and then we can wrap things up. Okay, each of us can answer this one. How would you fix Sonic? Who wants to go first?
It's quite obvious. Give him give him his own Mario 64.
I get more technical. Beep.
As well as, not to mention, don't listen to the fans, because they don't know what they want.
I would. since the Sonic 2D games are pretty much they've had a very a level they've been pretty much on a like level, you know, they haven't really gone down in quality. They've been pretty good for years now. I think the problem lies in 3D Sonic games, where they range from being passable to mediocre to bad. And it's kind of like Piggy Don said earlier, Sonic has never had his Mario 64 game, the game that showed you what you could do in a 3D space with Sonic. Like, they've all basically devolved into, I'm running down a corridor, I'm dodging spikes, I'm using the homing attack to cross a gap, or to hit a switch to let me cross a gap early. And it just, the games feel very samey and derivative. So I think that maybe the best case scenario, and I hate to say this, would be for Sega and Nintendo to do a partnership, and for Nintendo to make a Sonic game, because fuck, Sega can't make a 3D Sonic game and save their lives, in my opinion. The best Sonic game, the most innovative 3D Sonic game I've seen thus far, aside from Sonic Lost World, is Sonic Unleashed, where you had the werehog levels, where it slowed things down and you actually did something different aside from running down a fucking corridor dodging spikes.
But fans hated the werehog levels.
Yeah, I know. Fans, it's not fast enough. It's like, yeah, but the formula needs to fucking change. The formula needs to change.
I was going to say that you need a real new or real good formula that represents space, because the Sonic 2D formula, I almost could say it's been perfected.
Yeah, well, Sonic is best in 2D, which is why the 3D formula needs to be something different. Because what worked for Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes, the formula was getting stale back then, but now it's been run into the ground. How many times do I have to run down a corridor or be chased by a truck or chased by a whale or chased by a fire? I mean, it's ridiculous. Do something different, damn it.
I remember back in 2008 when Sonic Unleashed was first came out, critics gave the game low scores only because of the werehog levels, while praising the daytime levels.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be the odd
you
man.
Can understand that?
I like the werehog levels, or at least I like the idea behind the werehog levels. Like, had that been more fleshed out, if they had. The thing is that Sonic games, the fundamental design flaw of Sonic the Hedgehog is that he's designed to run insanely fast, which works really well in a 2D plane. But in a 3D plane, it's just it limits the speed, it limits, right? Well, it limits the scope of what you can do. I mean, why design this pretty ass city that I can't explore with my insane speed? That makes no sense. And yet that's every damn 3D Sonic game. It's like, man, look at this level. Oh, too bad you're on this track. I mean, if you might as well just make Sonic 3D games just racing games, because that makes more sense than what they've been giving us. But that's neither here nor there. I think I have to agree with Pinky Don. You know, Sega needs to. They need to force Sonic the Hedgehog to evolve. So K-On Nintendo says there are too many Fire Emblem games coming for the past few years. You're right. It's saturated, right? Like, Fire Emblem Awakening was really good, and then Fire Emblem Fates was also good, but then they did the Fire Emblem Heroes and Fire Emblem Gaiden, the remake. I'm like, I can't. That's too much damn. And then Fire Emblem Warrior. I mean, it's just, there's been 5 damn Fire Emblem games in the last 6 years. That's ridiculous.
Though you can argue that Fire Emblem Fates was not very good, because story-wise, it makes no sense.
I would say that Fates wasn't. You're right. Fates wasn't as good as Awakening, and the reason Fates wasn't as good, it wasn't so much the story. It was that they split the damn game into 3 games, and that was a shameless cash grab, because they were like, "Well, we got to make the money," and I was like, "That's just fucked up. That's not cool." But
if you ask me, the Sonic Adventure series actually, but if anything, it could use a lot more polish, or maybe switch up between just 2 character types instead of just. Since I would say that if the Sonic Shadow and Knuckles Rouge would have been the perfect balance.
Yeah, but they had to include Tails because he's part of he's the original sidekick, so you had to include him, and that's why you had the 3 characters and not the 2. But I mean, still, Adventure had the switch up, but still, if the next 3D Sonic game is you running down corridors, dodging shit, whatever. K on Nintendo's next question: what are your thoughts about the Secret of Mana remake? Since I had the game before I returned it to Steam, because it was a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. It's total garbage. I mean,
wait, you mean the remake's already out?
Yeah, it's on PC and PS4 and Xbox One. I got it on PC.
Dang.
On Steam, yeah, it's not very good. It's garbage. It's
what did they do compared to the original?
Well, they revamped it. It has a retranslation, which is kind of good, but not really. They changed the control scheme a little bit because in the first one you could only attack in 4 directions: up, down, left, right. In this one you're going to attack 360, but it kind of breaks the flow of combat. They remixed the music so it sounds like shit. The art style is ugly. Like, sprites worked. Like, the sprite artwork really worked. You can tell this is just a cheap ass fucking cash grab. They probably farmed this out to a low level studio or a outside studio, and then they just sent what they sent back in and they polished it up themselves. You can clearly tell that this was not an A. This was an A effort, and most egregiously, the game is like $49.99. I think I paid less than that, but it's almost like a full price game, and it's just some bullshit. So yeah, it's garbage. It's total and complete garbage. And if you have to play Secret of Mana, my advice is go on the Wii U Virtual Console and just buy Secret of Mana. You'll be much happier.
Or get the Super NES Mini, which has Secret of Mana.
Yeah, but who wants to pay $79? Sorry, $99, however much it is. Who wants to pay almost $100? What?
It's actually $79.99.
Yeah, who wants to pay $80 to play one game? Which is, I mean, it's much cheaper if you go on the Wii U Virtual Console. Or,
I was going to say that you got multiple of games on that one little system, but
yeah. Or I hate to say this, but you can emulate it, right, folks? I hate to break this to you, but the game is emulatable. I mean, I know some people say, well, that's stealing. Not really, because the game came out over 20 years ago.
That reminds me, there was this video I found talking about accusing Nintendo for using pirated software for their.
Yeah, I saw that. They downloaded a ROM, but here's the problem: it's their shit. It's their ROM. They can
exactly.
It's like an author who owns the rights to a work to their book. They can download a copy of their own book. It's theirs. They can do that. They're allowed to do that. So, I mean, get the fuck over it. But anyway, so yeah, the Secret of Mana remake sucks. If I were you, I would just go download the shit on the Wii Virtual Console. If you have a Wii U, if you have a Wii, you have until March to use your coins. So do that. I mean, don't get the remake because it's shit. If you have to get it, wait until it's on sale. 8Ball 1970 says, whatever you do, Disney, don't give the Star Wars license to WB Games. I already talked about that. 8Ball 1970 says, is there any way that EA could give up the NFL license so that Tecmo and 2K could step in and make video game video football games fun again. Well, it's not so much that EA gives up licenses, that the NFL stops giving them exclusivity with the license. And
I actually hope to see that, because seriously, have the NFL done?
No, every time there's a new the contract is re-upped, it's exclusive, which sucks because I mean, let's keep it real. Like I don't think Tecmo Bowl could be.
Have the NFL seen what EA's done?
I don't think they give a shit as long as they get their cut. I don't look. All the fucked up shit the NFL does. You think they care about what EA does? Shit. But I mean, as long as like, here's the thing. It would be cool if Tecmo Koei could make a Tecmo Bowl without it being Super Bowl teams. They could use all fictional teams and it would probably sell gangbusters. I mean, really, if Tecmo Koei made a Tecmo Bowl for the modern age and used all fictional teams, they could make tons of money. Just make it cheap. Just like make it in the vein of Super Tecmo Bowl for the Super Nintendo, or maybe a little bit better, and make it like $20 or $30. Maybe add a season pass where you like can have like new teams come in, or expansions where it's like worldwide instead of just, you know, the US. That'd be cool. And 2K, yeah, I would like to see 2K get a hold to the Tecmo license, because to the NFL license. Cause I remember when 2K made the NCAA football games, and they were so much better than Madden. But I mean, this is EA. EA is your typical evil ass company. If they can't compete, they do these exclusivity deals so that like they don't have to compete. Yeah, Aries 73, I have to agree. I will take Tecmo Bowl over NFL 2K or Madden any day. Yeah, I gotta agree. Tecmo Bowl is much more fun of a game because it's arcadey.
I mean, seriously, how the heck do you not realistics?
Well, I mean, the thing is that if I want to play football, if I want to play realistic football, I can just take my ass outside, get a team of dudes together, and we can play football. Because there's a football field. There's a football field literally 2 miles from my house. I can drive to that park and join a pickup game of football.
So I just have to ask about something, because I realize this, and this is my card gaming annoyance coming. And hold up, beep. Does that card game play in Madden?
It's so that they can charge people. It's the loot boxes in
that's the thing that bugs me, because I know that's the loot box, but I can't even understand how that game is supposed to be played, or at least understand why it exists besides the obvious. Then I say that's the money.
Yeah, it's some bullshit, all right. So K on Nintendo says, I have played Secret of Mana for free with Homebrew, but haven't completed it. Yeah, Secret of Mana is just one of those RPGs that it's greater than the sum of its parts, because the music is really good. The characters are kind of shallow as hell. But like once you get farther into the game, you figure out what's really going on, and it's like, damn, I didn't see that coming. It's despite its childish aesthetics, it's a really dark game, like really, really dark. Because you know, once you get to the end of the game, you're gonna be like, damn, this is darker than I anticipated. But yeah, it's a really good game. Area 73 says the Ultimate Team is the biggest fantasy scam on earth. It is a scam. But you know, people buy it. If people would quit giving their money to EA for the NFL license, the NFL would stop giving them exclusivity. But you know, EA makes too much money because dumbasses keep on buying Madden every goddamn year. It's Madden, I'm gonna buy it. Fucking moron. I'm sorry. Look, if you buy Madden every year, you're an idiot. And
buy
I don't
Madden
care
every
if you
year and try to get the stuff that is can't see in those games.
It's not good.
You're beyond idiot.
Yeah, it's if you buy Madden every year, you are an idiot. K on Nintendo says I love Dragon Quest Builder. Yeah, I played it. It's okay. I mean, it's a Mind Quest clone with a Dragon Quest flavor, but I mean, here's the thing. I love Dragon Quest, but I want actual Dragon Quest games. Like if you're gonna do a spinoff, why don't you do a spinoff that's not a ripoff of some other shit? Like Rocket Slime was a spinoff, but it wasn't a knockoff. It wasn't a ripoff of something else. Like Dragon Quest Builder just feels like, okay, it's like Minecraft but with Dragon Quest. I'm like, whatever. It is what it is.
Any other questions?
No, that's it. That's everything. Anything else you guys want to bring up before we wrap things
Oh
up?
yes, Splatfest Team Love won.
Okay. I guess people want to be in love but broke as hell.
Because money can't buy you love.
You're right. Money can't buy you love, but if you have enough money, you can get something that's damn close. You can't tell the difference.
Here, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Stark.
I will say that had Team Money won, I could have written a rant article about how greedy Americans are compared to the Japanese.
Shit, you think the Japanese aren't greedy? You got your damn mind.
Because the Japanese got this theme back in the first game, and Team Love also won that Splatfest.
All right. K on Nintendo says he still can't believe he completed Dragon Quest XI on PS4. Yeah. I'm not down for catching a case or anything else for that matter. I don't even know what that means, but whatever. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like Dragon Quest, but it's not one of my favorite things. And as far as Splatoon goes, I haven't played it since last year. Like as soon as Mario Odyssey came out, I put up Splatoon 2. And if I don't play it at all, if I don't play it until January, February, I might have to or not January, until March or April, I might sell it. Not trade it in, just straight up sell it, because I'm not playing it. And that's not cool to have a game that you're not playing.
And speaking of Mario Odyssey, a couple of models from that game are being ripped from the game to be used online. Currently, it's only being used for Zalara/XPS. So, and it hasn't been ported onto Gmod or SFM. And I'm kind of curious, how are they able to rip the models when the Switch is currently unhackable?
Well, like I said earlier, they're probably using a capture card, and then they're capturing the models from the capture card. If you have the software, you can do it. I mean, I don't, because I just have a capture card for making videos. But for people who, don't have a capture card, then it is what it is, whatever. But we had a surprise topic, but I think we've gone on far enough.
We burned through them.
Yeah. So anything anyone wants to pimp out before we wrap things up? Anything.
I'm not sure if you guys are gonna do anything, but days this week coming up.
What?
My days this week coming up.
Your birthday?
Yep.
What day?
20.
Oh, you want to have a birthday cast?
That's the day.
I was gonna ask if anything's gonna happen this week, and I'm
gonna be at work this on the 20th. Though I am on a holiday break tomorrow because President's Day.
Yeah, you wanna do a birthday cast the 20th?
Or at least get quick topics shot off like how you and me did, Rev.
Okay, we'll do a birthday cast. Yeah, how about 7:30, 8 o'clock? Or would you like it earlier?
I could do 8 o'clock.
Okay, 8 o'clock. Okay, your 8 o'clock birthday cast. I'll make the topic. I'll make I'll schedule it and everything. So yeah, we've reached the end of the podcast. It was fun. It was dandy.
Not real handy, but it was fun still.
It was a little handy. It was a little handy. So with that being said, that's the end of this podcast. Remember, this is BS Busters, where we will find if it's bullshit, we'll bust it and show you why it's total bullshit. With that being said, this is Mr. Red Fox signing off. Pinky.
Yeah. Be sure to visit Video Game Facts, where we talk about facts and opinions on the Gamosphere. I have currently posted my thoughts on the Splatfest, as well as part 2 on my ideal theme songs for each of the ARMS characters. And that'll be all. Right now, I'm going to be searching for something for Jewel Rider's birthday in 2 days. It'll be a video to share for her. Something of her interest, that is.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
And I already know what it is, so I'm saving it for 2 days.
All right. And Joel?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the Bullshit Busters podcast. This is and, of course, Mr. Red Fox himself, wishing you a good day. Good, have some good fun.
Yes, and stay tuned next week for the Sci-Fi Power Hour-ish, where we will be doing a spoiler-filled review of Black Panther, where we're just gonna take the rag off the bush for people who haven't seen it.
In that case, I'll hide from that one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we will be spoiling it, and it's gonna be fun. And next week's BS Busters, I have no idea what it's going to be about, but there's always some bullshit. So with that being said, good night and peace.
And
stay away from that OJ.